I'll see you in the next one. Proper story is supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky. He gets up, sets off for the Bastion, where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble. Ground forms up under his feet as it pointing the way. He don't stop to wonder why. Finds his lifelong friend just lying in the road. Well, it's a touching reunion. He sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. In the calamity. That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a gas fella, forced out from underground. Kid pops him good. Gotta hold her still and spin up the chamber. Kid's worked up quite a thirst by now, so that fountain looks real inviting. Sometimes you just need a drink. Kid finds a memento from a girl he knew. Always used to fancy her. A school of squirts tunnels up around him. He sets foot inside one of Celandia's famous watering holes. Wait, haven't I? Anyway, Rhonda's place just brings back memories. Then Kid finds his trusty shield. The security takes him for a petty thief. Special delivery, gas fellas. Windbags start turning up for last call. More squirts start coming out of the woodwork. A big old fella pops out in front of the kid. Kid sees the way to the Bastion out the window. He gets a good look at things on his way down. He lands on top of a breaker's bow, and it ain't broke. Kid spies a good perch for some target practice. He knows he should draw the string all the way back. Good news is the emergency defenses still work. Bad news is they're aiming for the kid. Picks up a few pointers from a dusty old tome. He finds the distillery right next to the arsenal. Tough part of town. One sip of the spirits in that distillery, and the kid'll feel like a new man. The arsenal's where the kid can pick the best tools for the job. them squirts birthing like crazy in a couple of corn pins. An old ferry barge sends the kid on his way. The Bastion's real close now. Takes a chunk of alloy. Smell of barley and spoiled blueberries fills the air. Scumbags. Drops a scumbag of his last meal. Kid maybe shouldn't have done what he just did. Kid puts him out of his misery. Finds the core to the wharf district. He steals the city's heart. Might as well. Kid has a feeling he better get a move on. The place is starting to fall. See, that core Kid took was the only thing making this particular rock stay afloat. Kid just keeps running. At last, the skyway's in sight. Whisks him where he needs to go. Now the kid sees something stranger still. His mind races. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me. There's a bit of the Bastion's power in that crest. Enough to point the way to the cores. We talk for a spell. All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there. Then watch. I try to let the kid down gently. This is the Bastion, all right. Except no one else showed up. And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again. Growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown. Kid ponders what to build. The lost and found. Here Kid takes fragments of the old world and makes them whole again. Kid don't know what's out there waiting for him. Now he lands at the intersection between bad and wrong. Ought to be a core down one of these twisted streets. But which one? And there it is. But it's locked down tight in an alloy cage. A blustering old foreman's keeping his fellas in check. Almost like he's showboating for the crowd. And now there's a new marshal in town. He hears the whole place groan, but it's too tough to fall. Might as well check the other side streets before leaving this hole. He comes back, just like I knew he would. The core hums in his pack. The monument's calling for it. Kid does it again. Only fair he decides what we build next. Picked up traces of other cores while the kid was out. Couples used to walk the sundown path. Kid ain't here for pleasure though. But then, somebody gets to the core before the kid. Floor starts giving way under the lightest step. A single panic squirt could bring the whole place down. Fragments of the old world rain from the sky. Well, the path ain't exactly visitors no more. Security's all fired up. See, the path was intended for usually strolling and such. Not so much for noise and tomfoolery. Sky bridges link the path together. One of them bridges whips the kid along. Air travel always was an iffy proposition. But Calamity changed everything, even when the wind blows. Well, if we mastered the winds in the old days, we can do it again. But the question is, who else would have taken the core? Well, ain't no survivor stole the thing. Scumbag ate it by mistake. No, they used to ship live munitions down the path. Gas fellas need some shut-eye from time to time. They get real cranky when you wake them up. In all this toil, Kid keeps coming back to an overwhelming question. Who else could have survived the calamity? So we didn't find a core that time, but that ain't about to stop us. A lot of things need fixing up in this world, and we can start right here. The calamity saved some of my old books. Guess it's got a sense of humor. Never would have pegged the kid as the bookish type. You don't get to be my age without learning a thing or two about what's what. But the most valuable lessons come early in life. I ain't much for worldly things, though all these years I've held on to a stash of old books from when I was young. There's one old book in particular I still like to read from time to time. It covers the important things, in a manner of speaking. Here we go. A is for Kobe, the goddess of oath and abandon. Make a promise, and the chastened maid will get to it. He's faster than a fork of lightning, and his aim is always true. If news needs spreading, tell it to a breaker. C is for core, a perfect bit of stone found deep underground. It makes the city shine day and night. Is there anything it can't do? D is for dread rum, a potent spirit brewed from a foul-smelling plant that grows in the wilds. One taste will sharpen your senses. Evacuation. In an emergency, stay calm, leave your belongings, and make your way to the nearest safe haven. F is for foundation, a solid plot of land for building anything you can imagine. Even grand ideas start small. Well, that's enough of that. This ain't about me, though you might as well know where I'm coming from. I ain't much for worldly things, though all these years I've held on to a stash of old books from when I was young. I still like to read from time to time. It covers the important things, in a manner of speaking. Here we go. A is for Kobe, the goddess of oath and abandon. Make a promise, and the chastened maid will hold you to it. B is for breaker. He's faster than a fork of lightning, and his aim is always true. If news needs spreading, tell it to a breaker. C is for core, a perfect bit of stone found deep underground. It makes the city shine day and night. Is there anything it can't do? D is for dread rum, a potent spirit brewed from a foul-smelling plant that grows in the wilds. One taste will sharpen your senses. E is for evacuation. In an emergency, stay calm, leave your belongings, and make your way to the nearest safe haven. F is for foundation, a solid plot of land for building anything you can imagine. Even grand ideas start small. G is for Garmuth, the god of purpose and folly. The crippled Duke reminds us that good intentions are nothing on their own. H is for Hensa, goddess of pain and pleasure. You can't have one without the other. The veiled widow makes sure of it. I is for In Case of Trouble, a song grown famous across the land, dedicated to the pioneering spirit of Caelondia. J is for Javel, the god of health and atrophy. We each have the Tower Keeper's strength in us, until that strength runs out. K is for Kid, a guy or gal just like you. Don't be in such a hurry to grow up, since there's nothing a kid can't do. L is for Lemaine, the god of hope and despair. The Mason King knows that success and failure are all in the mind. M is for Messiah, our goddess of loss and longing. We all are born from the Lorn Mother, and in the end, we all return to her. For North. who's always there to bring a smile at the Hanging Gardens, thanks to his feathered friends. O is for Alec, our young god of chance and whim. The carefree son lives forever in the moment. The rest of us can only try. P is for Pith, the god of commotion and order. When the wakeful bull is calm, let's all do our part to keep him that way. For Queen Anne, the notorious ankle gator from the wilds. She can even dig her way into rotten children's dreams. The god of thirst and plenty. The gorging host reminds us to always know when we've had enough. S is for scumbag, a big lumpy old fellow who sidles about. He loves eating trash. Just be sure to keep a healthy distance from him. Trigger, the army's sharpest shooter. Take pride in Caelandia's mounted soldiers. They risk it all to keep us safe. Well, that's enough of that. All it takes is some fragments, and the Bastion makes it good as new. The windbags used to be alright, then the calamity took the floor out from under them. We could always see the stars, we just never could reach them, no matter how high we built. You don't want to know what he did to that thing, but believe me, it works. In better days, the melting pot was sealed tighter than the skin on a squirt. Of all the plans to survive the calamity, it had to be stagweeds. Blasted things hurt like a broken heart. If there's a core, he figures it ought to be deeper down. Core stuck inside one of those fancy cages. Some of the stuff lying around is downright dangerous. No breaking a cage like that, but the kid tries anyway. Gotta find a way to spring it open. He throws a switch. Now what could possibly go wrong? Quite a bit, as it turns out. The cage starts lifting from the core ever so slow. All kid can do is wait. Shipments start falling in. Not every squirt's born bad. Some spring to the kid's defense. Judging by the movement of the cage, it's gonna take a little while. Scumbags don't take kindly to interlopers. Even some gas fellas take his corner. Where they pop that mean old foreman. At this rate, maybe 5 more minutes, maybe 30, hard to tell. Squirts get real territorial around the core. Then a shipment of free samples shows up. It ain't all bad, as the kid finds some spices from the motherland, tax-free. One thing's for sure, that cage is awful heavy. Troublesome scene, to be sure. A few moments left, and the core goes free. 10, 9, 8, 7, give or take a few seconds. Finally, the core's within reach. And done. He's got it. Just gotta get to the nearest barge. I still remember the look on his face after that one. The old world's finished, but the new world's just getting started. Folks voyaged across the boundless sea to found Celandia. It was good living here for a while. Behold the Pantheon. Hensa, Akobi, Javel, Messiah. The gods never liked competing for people's affections. whispers. The dead ain't gotta worry about this mess. The calamity took everybody after all. Kid sees it plain, frozen faces all around. These folks never saw the calamity coming, but someone did. Someone close. It was someone like him. Something so familiar about that man. It's a snag or two trying to get to him. He ain't about to stop, no matter what. He's got so many questions after all. The brothers didn't make it. They never saw what it was like beyond the walls. Norty the bird boy didn't make it. The Jawsons, they didn't make it. Grady Sr., Grady Jr., they didn't make it. But him, he survived. Kid finds proof enough that man ain't from around here. Just think, without that man, we wouldn't be here right now, would we? Kid does what he has to do. And then, what do you say to a man who's seen too much? Kid hasn't a clue, but he says this: we have to go. Please. He's a proper gentleman, that man. His name is Zolf. No hiding he's an Ura. Folks like him ain't never been a common sight in Caelondia. He's relieved to see a living face or two. The kid and I introduce ourselves in kind, both to him and to each other, for the first time. For Zolf, Caelondia was like a second home. He's real worried about his first home, too, far to the east. We all lost loved ones in the calamity, he says. I don't know how I'm gonna go on without mine. Zolf offers to help me plot the skyways for the kid. At least the calamity hasn't touched the stars, he says. He was born in the Tazzle terminals. The Uras sent him on a mission of peace to our city, and he's lived here ever since. We fought the Ura decades ago, but that was then. Things are different between us now. Of course, they remember. That's why this place is coming together. That's why things are gonna be alright. Well, look what we have here. Makes time to sample spirits from my personal supply. Champagne's made with scumbag extract. Hence the barley aroma and the nausea. We tracked down a couple more cores near the edge of the city. There's only one way to Cinder Brick Portal. The hard way. Sure, the city marshals may be gone, but now the fort's crawling with windbags. The calamity was mercy for normal folks. The windbags ain't so lucky. They've been left to freeze or starve or face the kid. Young and old keep fighting for the fort. At least the marshals left the kid a parting gift. Windbags ain't much different from normal folks. All they want's a warm place to stay and a decent meal. The calamity drove the windbags topside. A lot of them wound up here in this very fort. Business underground like in the old days. Windbags can't use marshal supplies, but the kid sure can. He stashes the marshal's prize, goes back to something more his style. Well, the fort ain't theirs by right. Can't blame him for wanting it, though. Not a scratch on him as he presses on the higher ground. Don't know, kid's fresh out of health tons. Times like this, kid's glad he packed trip lines. Security's plain gone haywire. Windbags gummed up the works. They trapped the kid in the middle of the fort's parade grounds. Then they bring out Glutus and Glandon, all their scumbag uncles. They got something to gain, and only their sorry hides to lose. Put the kid on notice. Kid takes down Glutus. Maybe with Glandon. The other big fellas who killed his brother, wherever they are now. Kid used to dream of getting a marshal's badge, but not like this. The Skyway's a welcome sight after all that. And now ain't nothing left for nobody down at Cinderbrick Fort. Kid shows up just as Ulf's telling me about his own journey to the city. The marshals seem like good men, he says. They treated him with dignity. Zolf brought his antique smoking pipe all the way from the terminals. Live wine so rich, they say it's brought men back from the brink for one last taste. Even since the Ura surrendered to us, the marshals kept a wary eye on him. Seems the only thing the Calamity saved for Zolf was his smoking pipe. Zolf's travels ain't much compared to what the kids had to go through for all this. The Bastion's a place of peace, but we can hold our own if we have to. Poor kid collapses after just one drag. The past. Only good thing ever come out of the past is history. started. Fair to say he's led a hard life, supposing what he says in his sleep ain't no lie. He never knew his old man, but he had his mama to take care of. Frail thing with pure white hair like his. Having his mama's hair did the kid no favors while he was growing up, but he learned to hold his own out there. School ain't working out, so the kid signs up for a turn on the rippling walls. Make his mama some money. Thanks to folks like the kid, the walls kept Ceylondia safe from whatever's out there. The elements, the Ura, you name it. What was I saying? Anyway. Once the kid done his time, he hurried on home. Turns out his mama's time was done too. The city had nothing for him. The money he'd been sending home was nowhere to be found either. Don't matter for nothing now. Kid loaded down with some of Ceylonia's finest firearms. To master the musket, you gotta get rid of the recoil. The marshals would have been downright jealous. Now we're looking at some serious firepower. You want to tune a scrap musket, you start with the barrel. The gods, they're all undone. Folks used to make pilgrimage here to pay their respects to Pith, the bull. Well, the gods are long gone now, and the orchard core is long gone too. The gods don't care about trinkets, but the kid ain't no god. Pith stood for something once. Something real. In time, though, the bull stopped being a symbol and started being decoration. Pith makes a decent scarecrow, at least. Then Pith lights up like a rodeo. Punching through his hide. Kid breaks him to bits. Must have been guarding that shrine. So what'll it be? Invoke the gods? Or tell them off? Kid decides to press his luck. If the gods are alive, they must be plenty sore. Kid ain't never seen windbags that quick. Maybe old Pith would have scared passes Pith's trial, and he's richer for it. Kid ain't found a core, but at least he found Zolf's precious shrine. Zolf doesn't touch the thing. Says the god of commotion is no children's toy. Squirt cider will toughen you right up. Too bad about the musty aftertaste. The Ura feared the gods. We turned them into toys, put their faces on our walls. The Langston River flowed free and wild till the calamity drank it all up. Maybe all that water just grew wings and flew off. The riverbank swarming with windbags. He was so bent on finding the core they hardly noticed the kid. Lucky for him, a certain famous ferry barge is still afloat. She sends him squirts crying home as she leaves port. Maybe Nellie knows the way to the core. Maybe she can slip right past all the clamor on the coast. Or maybe not. The security skiff pulls up portside. Nellie's just another windbag to those guns. Just then, the windbags notice who she's sailing with. They're pretty steamed about what happened at Cinderbreak. They try to cut her off. They try to slow her down. They try to knock her out. Well, Weepin' Nellie tries harder. Try as she might, though, she hits a snag. Kid's gotta help her get untangled. Favors for favors. She picked a good spot for a break. There's the core right there. Then the kid hears an unusual sound, like 100 flapping wings. Peckers. Takes a hard hit, but he ain't finished. They've been watching his every move. They had their own eyes on the core. Why? Well, kid ain't got time to think it over just yet. He finds Weepin' Nellie raring to go. Turns out she's got a special surprise for when the waters get rough. She's gonna need a little help with all them peckers. Crafty things think they're king of the roost now. Rest of us only wish we could fly and act like this. Security skiffs keep on coming starboard side. Don't seem to care what they shoot, as long as they hit something. Windbags getting even better idea. They aim to smash Weepin' Nellie to splinters. Well, it all proves too much for poor Nellie. know how many times Kid nearly fell off the barge back there? 5 times. Now, listen close. You should remember this next part. Why go to Prosper Bluff? Used to take an enterprising man or a plain old fool to venture out that far. The city was the most beautiful place in the world. We all knew that. But on the other hand, some folks just yearn to see the things they're told they can't. And that's why you go to Prosper Bluff, ain't you? There the kid hears something he ain't heard in a long while. How's it go again? That's the one. Timeless. Well, no point explaining what happens next, right? Suffice it to say, kid ain't coming home empty-handed. And besides, it's like the song goes, until it's done. They'll be here before too long. We darn near celebrated when the kid got back, didn't we? Zolf never thought he'd see a fellow her again. We become fast friends. Calamity has that effect on people. But there was more to be done. There was one last core to find. Kid's surprised when I tell him there's only one core left. I shouldn't have believed it either. Most of the Ura never got a taste of Ceylondia's fine goods, unless they were born and raised in the city like Zia here. Sure, the world's all gone to pieces farther than the eye can see, but leave it to this gal to point out the amazing view. Girl tried to run away from home one time, but the marshals stopped that, didn't they? So many secrets in there and she can't even read it. Her father's own journal. A scientific journal written in Zolf's native tongue. He learned so much from it. Too much. If only I'd known half the secrets of the Calamity were tucked away in that book, I'd have worked to translate it right away. The memorial. Here a kid can pay respect to the old world and earn it in kind. The valediction. Just another one of my sketches. Nothing more. We tracked the final core beyond the city to the wilds. Ever felt a Zolwood gourd, like picking up broken glass barehanded? At Zolwood Grove, marshals learned to make every shot count. The trick was to pop all those nasty gourds without wasting ammo. Catch a bunch of those gourds in a single shot. Funny thing about muskets is they work best up close. It took a keen eye, not an itchy trigger finger. Marshals did more than just stand around shooting, of course.